Hello guys, what's going on? This is Negacious. And welcome back to Katawa Shoujo. um God, my mind has been a complete dull today. In the last episode we finished Shizune's and I suppose Misha's route, the good end. And boy, it was good. I mean, I really enjoyed it, despite all of the garbage that it had gotten, like on the forums and such. But yeah, it was really good. And I did say at the end of the last episode that I will be starting Rin's route next, and that is exactly what we are going to do. This time, I'm not going to show how to get to the route. I'll just make the choice that puts us on the route directly. I mean, I was thinking about it, and there's no point of going like through Act 1 again, because we've already gone through it 3 times, so there's no point in going back there. I mean, sure, I might get some new dialogue, but I don't think it's really worth it for me to sit here for like an hour, 2 hours, and then just like put it into small clips on getting on some new dialogue done. So I'll just right now we are on scene Creative Pain, and this is from the route. This save that I'm on is from the route from the WTH route, the Kenji Bad End route that I did on episode 30, I think. Yeah, episode 30, when I got like the bad end and I jumped off the roof at the end of it. You can go check it out. I'll put a link down below in the description to that particular episode. But anyways, this is the last choice that if you answer wrong, you'll end up on that route. But this is also the choice that allows us to enter Rin's route. So we just had like wander around the town. We had just gone to town with Lily. We had kind of came up from there. And now we're just wondering what to do. And what the hell? Yeah. And then we came across this dude and Rin, and this man is apparently Shinichi Nomiya, the art teacher at the Yamaku Academy, and he has an obnoxiously loud laugh. So we just gonna talk with him a bit, with Rin a bit, and he ends up asking us how did we end up assisting Mr. Nomiya's protege, which would be Rin. And the choices are: I'm interested in the art club, which is the choice that takes you to Rin's route. I have a feeling I'm gonna have a hard time saying that. And then there's the other choice which takes us to the Kenji Bad End. I just kind of stuck with her, I think. And that is the choice we took last time. So right now we're going to take the I'm interested in the art club. And let's get this route started. I guess I'm a little interested in the art club. I blurted out, partially inadvertently. What do you mean? I have no idea what kind of voice to give this dude. Nothing specific. I wonder if I could come by sometime, even if it's just to observe or something. I've been thinking that I should join some club or something, so it's in no way a premeditated move, but a vague sense of determination has really been building inside of me for this past week. I want to do something. I want to belong somewhere. It might as well be the art club, my shortcomings notwithstanding. The teacher seems pleased. Oh, you want to join? Well, we always welcome new people, of course. Club meetings are normal enough. We study various aspects of the fine arts and try our hands at them as well. Or feet. Oh yeah, because Rin is there. He gives an embarrassed cough, but Rin doesn't seem to mind. I take a small amount of comfort from the fact that I'm not the only one with vocabulary difficulties at this school. Nomiya rebounds from his faux pas by theatrically checking the time from his huge, gleaming pocket watch, and slaps his forehead even more theatrically. Hang on, guys. And slaps his forehead even more theatrically. There you go. Such a hard word to say. For my tongue, at least. Oh, I really must take my leave now, but if you have questions, I'm sure Tezuka can clarify. Somehow, mentioning clarify and Rin in the same sentence doesn't feel right. However, I don't say as much to the teacher, since he seems to be in a hurry. Tezuka, I'm pleased to see that this little project is going so well. I just thought I'd remind you not to run off by yourself tomorrow. I've invited certain people to the festival for you, and I'm sure they'd like to meet you as well. I hope I'll see you on Monday then, Nakai. The teacher leaves, and we are left by ourselves again. Rin is still painting, as if nothing notable happened. Since nothing in fact did, I'm left wondering what on earth is wrong with me. Art and I haven't worked together well in the past, at least judging from the grades I used to have in middle school. Maybe a club will be different than an obligatory class. Who knows? I try to come up with something meaningful to ask about it, but to no avail. I'll just go to a club meeting and see how it goes. So, he invited some people tomorrow just to check out your painting? He has a lot of art people friends. They like to talk about it. I think that was Rin's voice. I think he wants me to talk about art with them. Somehow, I get the feeling that you aren't too thrilled about it. Rin shrugs non-committedly, but it still gives an impression of her general displeasure at the idea of having to discuss her painting, or any painting, with other people. I really don't like talking about art. It is already a way to talk without talking, so why bother talking about it? Makes sense. I can understand that. It's like being bored and talking about being bored because you're bored. I'm not following you. Have we ever talked about being bored? It's pointless and not very exciting. All you can really say about it is, I'm so bored. I once spent a week trying to think of something meaningful to say about boredness. What the fuck? It was the most boring week I've ever had. But that's pretty fitting, don't you think? Rin gives me a look. The Lasonic kind of look. The Lasonic kind that looks like it doesn't mean anything, but it does. Anyway, I don't know. I guess I just rarely can come up with anything to say about art. I mean, like this one you're doing right now. I have no idea what to think about it, except that it looks nice. What is this painting about? Okay, ready for a rant? Okay, good. It's not about anything at all. That's what I'd like to say, so I did. But that was a small lie. I didn't do anything because I would kind of like for it to be true. Teacher wanted me to do this, but I didn't have any ideas. I tried to have some, but nothing happened. So now this is a painting without any ideas. But what are you painting then? No idea. Come to think of it, I think I'll call this No Idea. Now I started thinking again, this is bad. That's fucking shaking. She shakes her head vigorously for a while, trying to shake thinking out of her head. That amber red hair flies wildly around. This is why I had Emmy help me. She makes it easy not to think about anything. You know, how she just talks about nothing for hours. It's like her head is made of bubblegum foam bath jelly. You're kinda the same, but not really. It's very helpful if you stay here. I'm not sure if that's a compliment or not. It's probably neither, with Rin being the overtly neutral person she is. So, is there anything specific you'd like me to do to make you not think? Just be... So, without knowing what I should do, I just sit on an empty box to watch her continue with the painting, idly leafing the pages of a beer-drinking book. Rin has a serene expression on her face, her dark green eyes hiding what she might think behind them. No, wait, she's supposedly not thinking anything, right? She quietly hums to a tune, interrupting every now and then with polite requests for more paint or another kind of brush. Her concentration is admirable, even though she seems to be sleep-deprived and under pressure to finish the job. Inch by inch, the painting gains more form, details being added on top of details, colors entwining with each other, filling the empty spaces growing on top of each other. I find myself thinking about inspiration and motivation to create art again. Where does one get ideas? They don't come out of nowhere, and I don't think there are muses that magically inject some inspiration in your head. Ideas have an origin and a purpose. The more I think about it, the more I'm convinced that Rin is lying about her mural and at least twisting the truth. Maybe she doesn't even realize it herself. You can't do anything creative without having an idea of what you're going to create. That would go against the definition. Every stroke must be decided to be drawn. Even if it's made at random, then that too is a conscious decision. So her painting, even this one, must be based on having some deliberate goal or idea of what to paint. If Rin's idea is to have no idea, as she said, does that count as having an idea? I mean, it does, shouldn't it? A logical paradox? That seems to be Rin's modus operandi for most normal interactions, so it wouldn't surprise me if she hadn't even noticed this herself. I wonder if I should bring it up, but I'm not sure if I want to engage in an argument about logic with this girl. One of us would probably end up short-circuiting fairly quickly, so I discard the thought. Rin is squirming and shuffling restlessly. Even her usual blank visage... yeah, I can read again today. Even her usual blank visage breaks occasionally into pretty difficult-looking expressions. The kind that doesn't just come up with accidentally. Everything all right? Yes. No. My back started hurting again. This painting is too big after all, and it's hard to paint in this position. Want to take a break? After I finish this part. Of course, she doesn't take a break, and I don't bring it up again because that would be completely and utterly pointless. Rin continues her work, and I stay with her. I like to watch her paint, and I'm going to be a member of the same club she's in now. When she declares the mural to be finished, it's already so dark that I have no idea how can she tell. There's no celebration, no general sense of job well done, just a tired and laconic, I'm done, and then we both go to sleep. Din din din, new route, da ba da, hype for that. I'm starting to run out of ideas for that, aren't I? The next day, I wake up feeling a little lightheaded. It's almost noon already. Sleeping late is fine, since it's a Sunday and there are no classes. Not just a Sunday though, but the festival as well. This is actually old dialogue here. Be right back. Okay, so that was just a little bit old dialogue. We talked with Kenji, and now we just said that we are in the art club, so... Well, I joined the art club, so I guess I'll go with them. You did what? I joined the art club. Man, this was a bad move, really bad. You don't know what kind of girls there are in the art club. Troubled, angsty cuties who tear your heart out and eat it out raw. Well, I know one art club member, and I really don't see Rin suddenly becoming a psychotic murderer. That seems unlikely. Don't say that. Don't fool yourself. You have no idea what you're dealing with here, man. They are the worst kind. They drag you in all with this fancy shit, and when you least expect it, BAM! BAM what? Kenji seems slightly fazed at my skepticism, but not any less loony. It doesn't matter. Tread carefully, man. Tread carefully. He fingers his scarf nervously, faster and faster, like he's trying to start a fire, then slowly begins to calm down once the panic attack finishes running its course. I think this is old dialogue too. Yeah, okay. So Kenji went back to his room, and we are now in the festival. The happy hubbub of the crowd greets me as I push myself through the main door and step outside. The school grounds were transformed into festival grounds over yesterday and this morning. Good job, Shizune and Misha. Colorful stands line at the main walkways from the main entrance to the school building. Some people are still carrying stuff to and fro, but behind most counters are relaxed students who look like they are good to go. Most of the other students have been early to finish the preparations. Have been up early. A feeling of guilt passes through me, but it soon goes away. I'm just a lowly transfer student, after all. Some visitors are already strolling the grounds. There are some young families with the perturbated parents trying to keep up with their over-enthusiastic offspring. A few students of our own accompanied by their parents. And a lot of old and young people who are here for no reason I can imagine. The carillon bursts into life, and the principal's squeaky voice announces the opening of the festival over the PA system. Everyone applauds politely, if a bit unenthusiastically. A school festival? We didn't really have festivals at my old high school. It feels kinda old-fashioned, especially considering the school I came from, but it's still somewhat exciting. A day off feels sweet after the first week of hard work, despite me lying on the hospital bed for 4 months prior to this. I recall even wishing that I could go to math lessons during my stint at the hospital. I can't remember the program for the festival, even though Muto went through it during class just the other day. I step off the dorm steps, intending to take a tour around the grounds to see all the stuff the others have set up, but I only make it down to the bottom of the stairs. A few people are studying Rin's mural on the wall, while the artist herself is lounging on the sidelines, leaning against the wall and looking extremely bored and mildly under the weather. Good morning. Hello. How's it going? Nowhere. I'm stuck. What do you mean stuck? I mean, I can't walk stuck. I think my legs are out of order because of yesterday. Does it hurt? It's hard to say. Maybe. The strain of working on the mural was greater than she let me know. I thought it was just a bit of tired muscles or something. I mean to ask something further, but Rin swiftly moves on to another topic. Teacher's friends came by. Then they headed into town for lunch and asked me to go. It was a good thing my legs hurt so much. But you're stuck sitting here. That's not good. I'll wait till I can just walk again. It should be either sooner or later, if you think about it for a while. Oh really, Sherlock? Teacher was happy that I finished the mural. He should be. But I wonder if it's finished after all. Oh? I thought yesterday that I had done everything, but now I'm not so sure anymore. I should paint more details, maybe, probably, it's very hard to decide. Finished or not, the mural looks great in broad daylight. The style reminds me a lot of Picasso's work. Various human body parts repeated over and over in a wildly mutating, mostly disfigured variety are the main element. They are rough looking, as if thoughtlessly placed and rudimentally painted, but a great deal of thought and care has gone into each and every one of them. Also, naked men. Hashtag Attack on Titan. Does this one have a frog growing out of its head? It does, actually. It's a goldfish, goldfish. What's that? It's nothing. What? Those are female midriffs. Anyway. The wall is so wide I have to turn my neck from side to side to see the entire painting. It's hard to consider it a single piece. The elements don't seem to fit together. But I guess they do create some kind of whole. Abstract as it is, I have no idea what it's supposed to be portraying, but it looks nice. That's enough for me. I settle myself next to Rin, leaning against the wall like she does. The happy noises of the festival are coming louder as more and more folks enter the grounds. The domes are far from the main attractions in the main building, and the stands around the courtyard, so most visitors have not found their way here yet. A somewhat bored expression settles on Rin's face, making her look detached from everything that's going on around her. She's being awfully quiet. I wonder if she's in pain. So, what did the art people say about your mural? My question wakes Rin from her daydreaming. She lazily turns her face towards me. I'm not sure. I think they liked it. Maybe they did. What about you? Are you happy with the mural? 'Cause I kind of participated. It'd be terrible if you were unhappy. Rin tilts her head, biting her over her lower lip. Jesus Christ. I think it came out decently. It's not bad, but it's not good either. It just is. I guess I'm alright being at being empty-minded. Can I ask something else? What does the painting really portray? I thought about it yesterday when you said it doesn't portray anything. But that's a logical fallacy, isn't it? You can't make something out of nothing, not even art. Rin frowns and turns her head back towards the clouds. I don't know. I'm not really good at explaining things. It's just a mural. There's nothing special to it. I said it already. She sounds annoyed at my inquiries. I didn't know what I'd paint, so I decided to paint just a mural. It's a mural that portrays a mural. No, wait. I just thought of a better way to say it. It portrays itself. So, its mural is at the maximum, at least as far as I can do. So if you think it has some meaning, I think that's the same as this one has. That makes no sense. Meaning, I feel the corners of my mouth turning upwards into a smile that's just a tiny bit bothered. I have never understood art in the deepest meaning of the word. I get the basics, how art is supposed to only be a means of exchanging ideas and thoughts. However, I never learned how I should interpret a piece of art, to somehow divine what the artist intends to say through it. I know it's not any special skill, but somehow my brain can never connect art with anything else than what I see. All I see is a mural. I can admire the technical skill, after all, I even know the difference between bad art and mediocre art and good art. But that's as far as I can go, so don't ask me about meanings, Rin. Her reply sure made me reluctant to ask her about it any further either. So, what are you doing when you get on your feet? Nothing. Nothing? But there's the festival. Don't you want to go have some fun? I'm fine like this. You don't like socializing much, do you? I think I'm arguing more for her than for myself at this point. It's not that I'm particularly thrilled about the festival either, just a bit curious to see what it's like, and that's about it. Her answer is unsurprising. No, I don't. I guess me either. Me neither, in the end. You should go if you want to go. I know, but I can keep you company. I'm not used to all this just yet, so it's okay to take it easy. I can leave though, if you want to be alone. I like it if you are here. We circle around each other with words, but eventually end up somewhere. Her saying that makes me... Her saying that Oh my fucking god. Her saying that makes me feel oddly happy, so I stay. Her presence is something I like too. The odd, warm aura of serenity that she seems to emanate makes it comfortable to be silent. I really like that. We watch people walk by, the two of us silent, everyone else chattering happily among themselves. Students are leading their families to the dorms to show their rooms. They pass us at the mural, maybe glance at it once or twice. I pay less attention to them, and more to my companion, trying to figure out my way past her cryptic, unreadable wall of a face. Rin's eyes flicker restlessly from one person to another as they walk by. Is she waiting for people to stop at the mural, maybe secretly hoping someone would comment on it? I don't think anyone would assume she was the artist. We're just sitting here like a pair of hobos, after all, and she doesn't even have hands. I wonder if it's even in Rin's style to fish for compliments. She seems so aloof. More people walk by, some of them pointing their fingers at the mural, exchanging words that I can't make out. Someone drops a snow cone on his shoe. Too bad for him. Everyone seems to like it. I suggested tentatively, throwing a topic in the stale summer air separating us. Rin doesn't answer right away, but by now I'm mostly used to her occasional slowness when she must talk. It's like she takes a great care picking her words, which is really unbelievable when you consider the jumble that comes out of her mouth. I wanted to make it so that you can just look at it without thinking. Then I realized that it doesn't make any sense, so it became something like a mix of this and that. From far away, it looks like someone vomited a herd of butterflies on the wall, which is exactly what that obnoxious president person didn't want. Is that word that... What word? That. What is the word for more than one butterfly? Isn't it a herd of butterflies? Butterflies? No, like a herd or a school or a heap. Oh, I don't know. A flock, maybe? Maybe people like butterfly vomit. What the fuck, Rin? Maybe people like butterfly vomit. Rin looks at the mural, looking surprisingly unhappy. The middle could be better. Usually I like in-betweens, but this was a pain in my butt. Not literally, of course. Then again, I did get that too. I guess it was literally after all. Don't be so critical of yourself. She looks at me funnily, but shuts up. At about this point, I start thinking if I really should leave and do something more constructive with my Sunday. This is the pinnacle of social failure. A whole free day, a festival right outside my doorstep, and what do? Sit here with Rin, two bystanders with nothing to do except to think what a pity it is just to be a bystander. Even realizing how pitiful it is, I don't do anything. I don't stand up and take off for a day of fun. Shuffle, shuffle. Fidget. Shuffle. Dots. those were like the sounds coming from next to me. I thought I was doing that. Rin is shuffling around restlessly, constantly swinging one leg over the other knee and then back again. She has a very irritated look on her face. Is something wrong? Yes, no, yes. She suddenly hops up on her feet. It's surprising, and I thought she was still rendered immobile, but apparently that's not the case. I have to go find Emmy or someone. I need some help with something. I can help you. No, it's okay. One of us has to stay here in case something happens. Don't be ridiculous. Nothing even remotely interesting has happened since I came here, except that one guy who dropped a snow cone on his foot. Let me help you, since I'm bored. So, what is it? Rin's lips flatten tightly against each other into an almost perfectly horizontal line. She closes her eyes and draws in a deep breath. When she opens her eyelids, and the frighteningly stern look in her dark eyes takes me aback. Hisao, you might not want to hear this, or maybe you do, I don't know, but it doesn't matter, and even if you did, you are not leaving me any choice. Don't tell me that you need to go into the water closet. Oh, I fucking called it! I'm having my period and I need some help regarding that. However, I don't feel that our relationship is yet on the level where I could allow you to pull my underwear down in the girls' toilet, even if you offer to. That's why you should stay here while I go and look for Emmy. Nice. I mean, I kinda saw it coming, but with Rin delivering it, it's just all the more better. As blood rushes to my cheeks, like the rising tide, my brains try to desperately reach for an answer, but the only thing I can think of how that was the most coherent thing I have heard coming out of Rin's mouth during these 4 days I've known her. Yes. Not wanting to meet Rin's eyes, I turn my face aside, pretending I'm looking at someone's parents. From the corner of my eye, I see Rin turning on her heel and walking off almost without further ado. I feel like going to hide under some rock. I wonder how long Rin will be gone, or if she will return at all. She does return eventually, appearing seemingly out of nowhere and sitting back to where she was, next to my place. I'm back. She says it flatly, like my blunder never happened. I'd prefer to forget the whole matter as well, so I keep quiet. Oh my, I thought that was someone like creeping up on Rin, but it's just her shadow. Jeez. Time passes in standstill. The sun gleams from high above the main building. It hits me directly in the eyes, but I just squint instead of moving. In a bit, it becomes painful to keep my eyes open just a little, and my temples start aching. My head hurts. I think this day gave me a headache. Can you believe it? Are you hungry? How is that related to a headache? It's not. I ask because I am. I mean, if you're hungry, you can like start feeling like pangs of hunger, but you can also get a headache from like undernutrition, I think. Her oblivious seriousness melts my irritation with its ridiculousness. Wow, that's some adjectives in one sentence. Just listen to it. Her oblivious seriousness melts my irritation with its ridiculousness. I like that. And I find the corners of my mouth turning slightly upwards again. You know what? So am I. I'll go get some food for us. What do you want? My treat. Doesn't matter. Returning with the food, I give one portion to Rin, taking the other for myself, and we dig in without a word. Rin looks upwards, fog hanging out the corner of her mouth. What are clouds? I always thought there were thoughts of the sky or something like that, because you can't touch them. Well, basically they are like moisture, I'm thinking. You thought like that when you were a kid? No, last week. Maybe because sometimes my thoughts feel like clouds, fluffy and white and slow. Like the sky was in my mind, like my mind was the sky. The sky of your mind? Close your eyes and think of the sky. You won't be able to think of anything else until you stop. I tried. It works. Magic? Opening my eyes, I see Rin studying me with her eyes. It feels uncomfortable because she doesn't say anything. I turn away. Dude! Holy shit, that's pretty. What? That's my new fucking, screensaver. Holy shit. Oh my god, dude. That looks fucking pretty. Clouds are water. Evaporated water. You know, they say that almost all of the water in the world will at some point of its existence be a part of a cloud. Every drop of tears and blood and sweat that comes out of you, it'll be a cloud. All the water inside your body too. It goes up there sometimes after you die. It might take a while though. Your explanation is better than any of mine. Because it's true. That must be it. I carry on eating the food before it gets cold. The wall offers a bit of blessed shade as the sun revolves around the dome of the sky. But the afternoon is already slowly making way for the evening, so our lunch becomes more of a dinner. Or whatever the word for an irregular meal like this. A irregular meal? I don't know. Despite what I decide to call it, it certainly hits the spot. I haven't eaten a bit since forever. I like this song as well. It's really chill. Raindrops and puddles. My appetite filled, I let out a satisfied sigh. Rin hasn't eaten all of hers, but seems to be done with her food as well. I lean back, taking in the atmosphere. The crowd has thinned already, but the activities are still going. Everyone seems to be enjoying themselves. And why not? It's warm, the kind of perfect summer day when it's hot, but not too hot for comfort. The sun will set soon. Time really has flown by. We've been sitting here for 6 hours. Yes, we have. Do you want to do something else now? No, not really. Me neither. She adjusts her position and leans against the wall, and I follow her lead, relaxing my own body. For minutes on end, we sit there without saying a word. I'm trying to feel Rin's mood from her demeanor, the tension of her muscles, the tiny expressions fleeting on her face. It's no use. She's unreadable as always. The crowd swells to and fro, people happily chattering with each other. Very few people pay real attention to the mural, and even less to us. I fiddle with a few old pebbles absent-mindedly. The act of doing something just for the sake of doing something, the pinnacle of idleness. Inch by inch, the sun creeps lower and lower towards the tree line, changing the color of the sky close to the horizon from golden yellow to orange and red as the moment of sunset draws near. I feel like my stomach is filled with lead after eating so heavily. The brick wall feels surprisingly comfortable against my back. I try to fight against the drowsy feeling that is overwhelming me, to no avail. Nice. I wake up with a start. A low boom reverberates through the school grounds. After images of bright sparks flash through my vision like stars. Something rises towards the skies from the direction of the sports field. A tail of fire trails behind it until a burst of red and yellow flame lights the sky high above the school with another loud boom. Fireworks. The sudden flash of light against the canvas of the night sky awakens me to realize that it's actually dark already. How long did I sleep? I feel groggy and can't feel my right arm. As I attempt to flex it, I realize why. Ah. Rin is leaning heavily against my shoulder, almost falling on my lap. She's fast asleep, not even fazed by the fireworks. Her mouth is slightly open, and her eyes are peacefully closed, a sleeping, childlike face of the innocent. I shake Rin gently with my free arm, trying to wake her up or failing that. Move her so that my other arm is liberated from its pinch. Rin's face twitches and her eyelids shut tighter, as if to resist against waking up. She gradually opens her eyes, but keeps them half closed, letting the light from the fireworks sneak just past her eyelashes, so that her green irises mirror the bright flashes of the explosions, then looks up at me and frowns. Just a while longer, okay? Rin's voice is drowsy and slow, leaving her almost unintelligibly muttered words hanging lazily in the air. It seems that she's not entirely aware of the situation. Rin's head drops back on my shoulder as she leans against me with all her weight. She snuggles against my side, trying to make herself comfortable, but making me feel very uncomfortable at the same time. I become intensely, almost painfully aware of Rin's warm body and the deep, peaceful movement of her chest against my arm, her breathing soon returning to the even rhythm. I can't help but admire her gift for sleeping, or the ease of mind of hers to use someone she has known for less than a week as a pillow. The rockets rise up to the sky one at a time, breaking into flowers of red, green and gold, accompanied by the oohs and ahs of the audience. I try to push Rin's disconcerting proximity out of my mind, for what can I do about it? I just hope that her short while really is that. One by one, the glittery bursts are born and die in a blink of an eye, coloring the dark night sky into a constantly changing abstract painting. I listen to the low booms of the explosions and Rin's quiet breathing, trying to clear my own head of the post-awakening disorientation. Thankfully, just a while longer really proves to be just a while, as Rin stirs from her slumber and wakes up again before the fireworks are over. I fell asleep. She finally opens her eyes and completely and blinks a few times. You fell asleep on top of me, twice. You didn't like it? Well... Despite the inconclusive stammering, Rin sits upright, drawing herself away from me. Well, you are heavy. It's a lie. She weighs next to nothing, but I have to get a jab back at her, even if it's under the belt. My mock protest fails to draw any reaction as Rin's attention is drawn upwards to the flashes of the fireworks. She seems hypnotized by the colorful play of the explosions. A slight tingling sensation goes up and down in my arm as blood starts to circulate again. It's unpleasant but helps me to get rid of this dizzy feeling. More and more rockets rise up to the sky, the bright colors and of their explosions reflecting from the clouds. Both of us stare at the fireworks fixed through the canopy of the trees, enthralled by the show. We would get a vastly better view of the sky if we moved even a couple of yards, but neither of us bothers to even suggest it. I really do like fireworks, even though looking at them makes me feel kinda sad. I think it's like they want you to look at them so bad, so they are loud and bright, but when someone looks, they are already gone. It's like they were not even real. They are real, I can tell you that. All of this is real, you know? If you think about it, nothing really lasts for long. Even something like my life or yours is just a blink of an eye in the history of everything. Like one of those rockets. Poof, and we're gone. But we're here, aren't we? Yeah, this is reality. Rin, sitting next to me, the loud bangs of the fireworks, the vast, unlimited sky. These things are definitely real, even though they won't stay here forever. I feel warm inside, and I wonder if it's because Rin is so close to me or just a feeling of being alive. I don't really say what I should say next. It's alright, maybe I'm just talking to myself. But you know, fireworks are pretty, but in the end, isn't it somehow silly to spend so much money on a fraction of a second worth of pretty sparkles? Rin rips her gaze off the still ongoing spectacle and leans backwards, looking at me with a repulsed face. Wow, I never expected you to be such a cynic. Cynic is a pretty harsh word. Rather than that, I think of myself as a realist. Isn't a realist just a word for what a cynic calls himself? The final rocket goes up with a bang of silver and blue, leaving the grounds eerily silent for a moment until the crowd starts moving towards the main gate like a cattle herd. Wisps of grey smoke drift towards the dorms from the sports field. The pungent, sulphurous smell of gunpowder it carries along feels like it sticks to my hair and clothes. Was that it? I think so. I stand up and stretch my sore back. Sleeping against a brick wall wasn't just a good idea after all. Rin stands up as well and turns to face me with an expectant gaze of her tired features. Although she seems to have trouble focusing her eyes, she's looking straight at me. Something I feel has not occurred too often in the past week. So I suddenly realize we have been almost on a date here, as if by accident, even if we did nothing. But it wasn't. So why blood is rushing to my cheeks and my speech stammering? I don't know what I should say, especially since it seems Rin is waiting for me to say something. But luckily, she solves my problem for me. Good night, Hisao. She gives me one more lingering look, measuring me from tip to toe, turns around on her heel and skips off, disappearing into the crowd. Dots. Okay, good night. I'm left standing there, giving my response to the cooling night air. The festival turned out to be nothing like I expected. I ended up spending all day in one spot with Rin, even though neither of us agreed nor suggested that we do anything. I just didn't have anything better to do, and evidently neither did she. Rin's warmth lingers for a while longer in my body before disappearing into the falling night. Disconnect Act 2. Act 2 Disconnect. I was just going to say that that episode seemed rather sweet and already really close and kind of warm between Rin and Hisao, considering that it was like the choice to get on Rin's route, because for an example, Shizune, that took 2 hours to get on the, or 2.5 hours to get on the cutscene. Well, I suppose hour and 50 if we exclude Act 1, but still it was long. Way longer than this, but we are on Act 2 on Rin's route, and I already have a feeling that this is gonna have the same level of emotional feedback and the same emotional load that at least Hanako's route did, because like the premise is there again. It's just that how do they execute it? Because like Rin is really interesting as a character, and like I can't wait what do the devs and the writers have like gotten out of her. But for now, we're going to end this episode of Katawa Shoujo here. I did enjoy this episode. If you did, make sure to drop a like. I appreciate your appreciation with the like button. Also, you can drop a comment down below, whether it's just casual banter, questions, statements, like feedback, anything. Drop it down in the comments down below, and I'll respond. You can also subscribe and click the bell button next to the subscribe button to make sure that my videos get into your sub tab the moment they come online. My name was Negacious, and I'll see you in my next video.